Okay, so now we're live and I'm about to go into meditation, and I'm gonna stay somewhat aware and narrate what I'm doing. And this is gonna help a lot of beginners out there, or just very advanced people who wanna up their game, maybe include some more practices, or maybe you're just curious about how I sometimes do it. But truth to be told, I do a lot of variation. Now it's 10, half past 10 in the evening right here, and at 11 it's gonna have to get quiet, so I'm gonna have to stop. So this video can't be that long. Also, it's gonna be very calm, so maybe listen to it as unintentional ASMR. You know, it can be a little bit hard to pay attention to. It can drain your energy because you start to vibe with my calmness, and then you have chores that you need to do afterwards. So maybe wait a little bit then. There's also going to be a lot of mistakes. You know, English is not my first language. I'm not an Englishman. So whenever that happens, I'm just going to have to keep going. This is going to be one take, so it's almost like it's live, okay? Now, here I am. I'm about to go meditate. And I start by rolling out my yoga mat, and I have a pillow on that yoga mat, and I have my loincloth on that yoga mat. Now, next to that yoga mat, I have a cup of tea that I'm gonna have with some fruit later. And this is all, you know, I'm gonna have a little bit of water ready here in my protein shaker. It can be very nice to have. So I'm covered, you know. It's set to be a good time, basically. I love water. Water is so nice, especially when you're thirsty, especially when it's icy cold. So what I'm going to do next, I'm going to turn off lights. Right? I'm going to turn off the lights, and then I'm going to take down my blindfold. Okay. And there's no rainbow body, there's nothing to be seen right now, it's just very murky, a lot of pixels. But as I relax and I get into it, which has become like a habit at this point, I can kind of make out the room, illusory room, and also the outline of my body. It is at this moment that I start to unbutton my shirt. And this is part of my yoga. And I look at it, and I try to see the shirt, and try to hold it out. And then I remove the shirt. Okay? Now I am in fact wearing yoga pants, but you know, if you do a lot of yoga, first of all, it pressures on your breathing, it disturbs your illusory body training. We don't want any clothes. And especially when you dream, if you have clothes when you dream, that's okay. If you are in a dream and you're not wearing any clothes, that should also be okay, because you have your dream body, okay? And so I look as I remove, you know, I look as I remove, and this is clothes, this is the body. But don't worry, guys, because I have a loin cloth. Okay, I'm just gonna check on our time here. Very nice. So I'm removing my blindfold. Took the blindfold off. Gonna have to put it on. Yeah, okay. And here I have a loin cloth, and I use that instead. It's gonna save you a ton of underwear. You know, if you're doing those deep stretches, this is gonna save you a ton of underwear. It's just smart, okay? And then I just sit, you know, and that's half the battle. Just sitting down like this. If you sit down on that yoga mat, man, that's half the battle. And let me tell you, you've come really, really far. Now, beginner advice number one pleasant breath all the way down, you know, into your chest. Chest expands. After a while, it expands downwards, and your stomach will come out, and then out. And I use the syllables now from Tibetan breathing. Okay, so it's like, notice that my posture got a little bit better. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna rub my butt into the floor a little bit. I'm gonna also oscillate my spine in a circular movement. And then I'm gonna shake. And then I'm gonna try again. No. No. Perfect posture. I want perfect posture. Now relax the shoulders. Now I really, when I send it down, I want to feel Hung hit that navel chakra. Now I'm going to send it Hung into the navel chakra, and then I'm going to push the stomach so that the air, that the expansion falls on my perineum, expanding between my tailbone and my groin, okay? And finally, I'm gonna go like that, and I'm gonna breathe all the way. And when I come up when I feel the breath move to my throat, I'm also gonna include Ham and through my nose, and finally Tzak through breathing everything out. And then I'm gonna hold it a little bit and just let that throat sink down, and that diaphragm come up through the vacuum, and just softly apply a little bit of pressure around the heart area, okay? So. Okay, nice. Do a couple of circles here. Do a couple of circles. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to slap my fingers and my wrists and my elbow, and I'm basically going to take my hand and just slap my arms a little bit, okay? So I'm going to look. If you can't see your arms, just pretend to have the feeling and try to connect with the feeling of seeing an arm, and look where it would be. And I go all the way, shoulder across the arm to the hand, underneath the hand, underneath the arm, along my rib cage, and then hip, knee, foot, all the way down to my toes, okay? So make maybe do a little butterfly sit here, and then make a little room. Very nice. Do a couple of butterfly stretches here. We can mix some stretching in here while we're at it. It's just nice, Okay, now I think it would be appropriate to lay down a little bit. Okay, so I'll be honest, I removed my blindfold. This is not ideal. This is for people that you are gonna get to, follow along with what I do. I laid down, I have a pillow underneath the back of my head. I lay on my back on the yoga mat, and I have my feet are flat on the floor, and my knees are bent, and I'm trying to get those heels close to my buttocks. And then my arms by my side, and I'm trying to lock it in a little bit, but I don't want to tense. I want to create a nice hallway down to the perineum, which is in such a way that even if I relax, even if I don't tense, I can still hit the perineum with the expansion of my breath if I breathe very close to the spine. Okay, so here I go. just through the nose. Eyes are looking down towards the perineum. So not as much bottle breathing as actually almost butthole breathing, but like between butthole and the groin, you know. I want a hallway, so the air goes close to my spine, rounds up at the tailbone, and then comes up again, opening the doors as the stomach expands from below towards the head. All right. Okay, and now it's time for thinking, or just sensing what is happening inside the body. Okay, I'm gonna sense what's happening inside the body, and that's gonna be the meditation I do. I'm actually really calm. There are no thoughts arising. I am currently laying in a corpse position. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to go into quietness and see if anything arises out of that, and I'm just going to cut that quietness from the recording because it's very easy to see on the sound waves. Okay. Illumination is increasing, but there are still no thoughts, no shame, no guilt, none of that stuff going on. I notice liberated energies of hearing. This is a kind of sound that can come in between the sound of hearing yourself perform mantra or prayer. It sounds like somebody is it sounds like someone is talking from another room. And it wants to turn on, but it's unskilled, so I have to change it. So I'm working with changing it from a very annoying male voice into a very nice female voice. This is necessary to do if you've liberated your hearing to the point where you hear voices spontaneously, that you take control of them using exercises such as this. Illumination now is purple and red with black and white pixels. Is that what we call them? It looks like TV static, really. I'm still not as deep. I'm gonna have to put this cell phone a little bit further away. It's distracting me by being too close. So I'm gonna change this a little bit now. Just position. See if I can get something good for you guys. Okay, but I think I'll move on a little bit and lay on my side. And I'm gonna do mantra humming. I am laying on my right side. And I'm gonna do exhales of petal mantras, that are on the side, that I've placed to sideways here to this side of my body. Starting with the Muladhara all the way up to the Ajna chakra. So the Muladhara is going to be the legs, Ajna chakra is going to be the eyes. And I start with the right side and it goes like this. Sham. Baham. Naham. Gaham. Saham. Ksam. And then I'm going to do the other side, the left side. And this is going to be on the inhale. Okay. Going to be working this side, the left side, on the inhale. From the legs, which is going to be Muladhara, all the way up to the ears, which is going to be Ajna chakra. Okay. And from here, now I'm going to sit up. I'm going to do alternate nostril breathing, breathing in on the side that I was breathing in the mantra and breathing out on the side that I was breathing out the mantra, okay? Both nostrils, center channel pushing on the belly button. hum into navel chakra. I'm going to shake in the pattern in this region that is the pattern of the navel chakra. Illumination has now increased. I'm going to do some magical movements. I'm going to pretend to draw and cut with a katana sword. Unsheathing the katana, and representing the blade and bathing it in a kind of purple light that fades into orange. Kind of looks like a little lightsaber here. It seems to be coming here. I'm gonna cut with it. Here, maybe a horizontal cut, slowly cutting with the katana. Horizontal line. I'll try to look at that line as long as I can. Now vertical. Very slowly. Okay. I fold the katana in on itself and it becomes a cigarette. And I take a puff of that cigarette. Blowing up smoke. Sending it out once more. Sending out smoke. Now through the nose. Through the other nostril. Okay. Then I take the cigarette and I give it to someone else who wants to have a little piece of that cigarette. And they in return, they give me a comb. I accept the comb and I'm very happy about it. And I look at the comb. It's a beautiful little artifact. And then I comb my beautiful, luscious hair. My beautiful, thick hair, I comb it. And I stylize it. And I give the comb back, present it with both my hands. And they give me hair wax. I gratefully accept the hair wax. I unscrew the lid. I put some of it on my hand. I screw the lid back on. I give it back. I'm gonna warm it up in my hands. Then we start stylizing the hair, and I can see my reflection in front of me in a rectangle shape. That's the mirror. I style my hair. A cool anime hair, anime chosen one hero haircut right there. Very spiky, very Final Fantasy, very beautiful. And then I wave at myself in the mirror. And the mirror waves back at me, then I wave the other hand at myself in the mirror. Okay, now I do a grand gesture. And I blow myself a kiss in the mirror. And then I put my hands in Gyan Mudra and contemplate what I've done. Then I form with my hands the Nintendo 64 controller. I hold it. I see it clearly that my thumb is on the 360 movement stick. My other thumb is placed firmly on the A button. The B button shines in green, and I have my trigger finger on the Z button underneath the controller. And in front of me appears Rainbow Road. I am playing as Bowser. Click the C button to clear the first long jump of Rainbow Road, and I land in the slope going upwards. The colors of Rainbow Road keeps drifting towards me through the screen, but I focus on my kart racer, which is Bowser. I keep driving. A chain jump is approaching towards me. I avoid that. Keep driving. Some items. I'm gonna take those items, see if I can get something good. I drive down here. I don't see it as clearly now that I'm narrating. It's kind of distracting, but it's there. I can see it. Maybe something easier. I realize the computer screen in front of me, and I relax, and I see the hallways of Castle Wolfenstein. And I'm walking through Castle Wolfenstein. There are no slopes, there are just hallways and doors. And items. Health, little health pack, maybe it's ammo, I don't know. Keep walking. Maybe it's not Castle Wolfenstein, it's just a place, you know. There's a door. Try to open the door by clicking space. The door becomes okay, I got in. I see a room. There's a place. There's another opening where I can pass through. Further, I lower my standards, and I'm playing Star Wars. This is the Death Star, and I'm driving my X-wing. So it's just one. It's just the perspective, you know, going forward in you know the Death Star when they're driving in that thing in the first movie. So you're just going down into that thing. Now the visuals is fluttering because I'm trying to use my eyes. It's not the eyes that see, it's the sensation of seeing itself. That's doing the work, yes, that's coming back to me. Okay, Okay, I think we ended there. We ended on a high note. I'm gonna do a different trick. Okay. I'm gonna lay on my right side. And I'm gonna realize the luxury, beautiful setting of Copa Tropa Beach, but we're not racing anymore. I'm just resting on the beach. Waves are rolling ashore. I can see the waves. It's very dark, okay, but you kind of have to accept what you can get in the beginning. As I said, this is only going to be this is going to be less than half an hour session, and then I'm going to do some more while not narrating for you guys. So I'm trying to squeeze in as many techniques as possible. Okay, I have had a arising thought that I should do some yoga. So I'm gonna do some yoga. I'm gonna do that. It's actually a good impulse, so I'm gonna choose to follow that. I'm gonna go into Malasana and hold it here. Left leg, Sam. Right leg, Sham. Now behind me, Zam and Vam. Then I'm gonna go to camel pose, Ustrasana. Vam, Bam, Baham. Mam is liver, Yam is heart, and then one for Lam, going downwards and upwards, Ram. Now, Cobra pose, belly button to the floor. Relax shoulders. Ram. So, on one side, above the hip, on the left side, we have Nam. On the right side, we have Nam. Okay, and then we also have two other Nams, so I can say them too. Num and Nam. Okay, and then we have, they're like opposing forces helping to balance each other out because there's no rib cage or sacral bone here, So it's dum, dahum, pum, pahum, tum, tum. Okay, so those are the other 6. Then I'm gonna go to a puppy pose. And here we have, on one side, the left lung that's on the nearest the heart is Dam, and the right lung, which has ethereal heart that balances it with consciousness, is Gaham. And then we're gonna do a puppy pose. No, we're gonna do a downward facing dog. So facing dog. Feel the arms into the hands. So, into the throat chakra. Now we're gonna do cat cow pose. On the left side, we're going to lean to the left side, and then we're going to go, ah. Then we're going to go to the right side and say, oh. Then I'm going to sit in Vajra Sana. Not the one from Tibetan yoga, but the one from yoga, where you're sitting on your own legs. Okay, so it's like you're sitting on your wrists, yeah, so they're bent backwards, and then you're sitting on top with your buttocks on your heels. And then I'm going to listen to the left ear and look towards the left ear. And this is hum, and the right ear. Now, any cross-legged position where you can, or even just standing, important part is balance. Head, like try to find exactly center. Thumb is higher heart. Shum, that's what I use for the Ajna chakra, because I have a connection with the word shaman, which comes from the word seer. But do not forget about the ears and the hearing connection. And just maintain balance here. And I'm actually quite warm. This is doing a lot to my consciousness. I'm getting warm. I also just did some yoga, so that's probably also to blame. But nothing here is like excessive. And the beginner advice is focus on learning to start first. That you get, I didn't get the mat before I was doing it every day. I knew I was going to be on the floor, so I might as well get a mat and sit comfortably. Before that, I would sit on top of towels, which was fine. But mat is, if you do it every day, it's a little bit expensive, $30 for a mat. But if you do it every day, it's okay. And it's a good purchase. It's not a good purchase if you buy a quality mat and it just collects dust. But if you use it every day, it's a great purchase. Okay, now I'm gonna take a look at my feet. I'm blindfolded, by the way. I'm gonna count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 toes. Then between those toes, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then the side of the foot, going down to the heel. Going down to the heel, okay. Foot is very important. It's a very unique human thing to have a foot. So we gotta look at them. Counter toes and big toe. The toe that's next to the big toe. And the toe after that. The toe after and the little toe. That's 5 in total. There are 4 gaps between these 5 toes. And then you can follow it down to the heel. And then I take my finger out into the air, and I draw 2 footprints here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 toes. Here's a footprint. I hold the footprint, one in each hand. This is a gift to everyone I've eaten, all the plants and all the animals, and it will help them. If they take this, then maybe they can reincarnate as a human being, because human beings are among the people who have footprints. And maybe they can do something nice for me. This is just we're friends, and we do each other favors. And on Earth there were causes and conditions, and man has got to eat his chicken, and he's got to eat his bacon, and he got to eat his plants. And even then, water, where does that come from? Who've been through the water? It's just a question about how many links before somebody got killed. So we're on Earth, okay. But this, very least we can do is to give some rainbow footprints as molds for the animals and plants and all the souls, and they can take this and get a favorable incarnation because they have a footprint. They have a footprint. And they can make their own unique footprints. And then we put our hand on the floor, and I pretend to hold a knife, but actually it's just my index finger. Then between my fingers, you know this one? Between the fingers. Yeah. That's pretty cool. Now we're going to look at that hand. And you're going to do that blindfolded. And it's really the feeling of the presence of the hand. You might see that your hand is a little bit purple, but then it's that halo, that orange halo. It's so bright, it kind of mixes the fingers, and it's hard to see the fingers. But they're like ninja sign language. Have you heard about that? Now I'm doing the other hand. Ninja sign language. Have you seen that? Naruto? You know Naruto? Naruto, that can really help. That sign language, finger weaving, like if I hold, just form Gyan Mudra. You can look at your hand, and then you have all these mudras. I love metal. You can make that I love metal hand gesture. Chicago Bulls, yeah. So there's a lot of stuff you can do with your hands to see them better But in the beginning, you're just gonna see the consciousness of a dark outline. Like this is the position. There's something here. But then you're going to start to see your body. Then you're going to start to see the room. Now I'm going to teach you a neat little trick. Pay attention. Okay. Okay, so I know where my leg is, and I also see it light up, especially the chunkier parts of the leg. But what if you actually haven't developed the sensation of feeling your body without a body? And then it's like, oh no. So don't worry. I'm not going to touch my leg. I'm going to touch the rainbow halo around my leg, my foot. And I try to go as close as possible, but not touch it. So I don't need the sensation of touch. I can still work. I can still wait for it. When is this important? It's important when you become lucid in a dream. Because when you become lucid in a dream, it's very tempting to do everything, like flying, everything that makes you happy about dreaming, you can do. You can search for the things that you want and the things you love, right? But what if you could use lucid dreaming to further anchor yourself, in that power through spiritual practice, through dream yoga, through yoga in your dreams. And maybe you come to discover, I can feel touch. And there are helpers out there who put you in bodies that have loose teeth, and you see it in first perspective. And because, they feel, they make you believe that you cannot feel in your dreams, that you cannot have a body without a body. So they give you a body, and in the dream you see it in first person view, and then you feel your mouth. It's like, one of my teeth is loose, okay? And then how could you know if you don't have sensations? How could you know? You can have a body. Your body can come with you. There's no separation. There doesn't have to be separation. Now, okay, my rainbow. I don't know if this is a rainbow body. This is probably just the illusory body, because I know that when I go into more deeper states, it's a lot brighter than this. So this is probably just the intermediate stage what I'm dealing with right here. Thought I'd end off the session with a advice, because there's a lot of scare tactics and a lot of demotivational stuff. Okay, I want you, if you have pulled any of your wisdom teeth, okay, And they say it's called wisdom teeth because the roots can be stimulated and to go into your heart. Okay, look, I have 31 out of 32 teeth, they say. But the truth is, we have 40 teeth. We actually have, like, if you're talking about this connection here, okay, between the sensation of a tooth into the subtle body, you have not 32 teeth, you have 40 teeth. Okay, it's only 32 that has a neural pathway built on top of them, but it has nothing to do with the nerves. It's a sensation, it's a feeling. And what people mean to say is that I have looked through my eye holes and I've seen nerves. Okay, that's just not good enough, right? So fill your mouth and then complete your mouth as a 40 petal lotus. So you know it's 32 by the back of your mouth, and then it circles around to a 40 petal lotus in your mouth, okay? 20 upwards and 20 downwards on top of each other. Oh yeah, and it's called chew. It's called chew. Yeah, so this one is very optional. So it's like right before you're about to do a little, pull up, for instance, you go like chew, and then you just jump up on that pull up bar and you do your pull ups. So it's like chew. So you can go lam vam ram yam tam hum chew. Like that. So just to bridge the gap between throat chakra and ajna chakra. Choo. And when it activates, it doesn't matter if you have all your wisdom teeth or not, because even if you've pulled one or two wisdom teeth, I mean, it's 40. It's 40 connections here. Okay, 40. And this is supported by Buddhist scripture. So this, I'm not the one. I'm not just pulling this out of nowhere. This is connected to Buddhist teachings. Specifically, the 64 characteristics of Buddhist speech. Okay. So if you want to know source, so I'm not, you're doing legit stuff. Complete the circle running through your teeth. You just want the circle of the chakra. Don't worry about the spokes. Get the circle, and the last 8 or more spokes of your mouth will come into that 40 petal lotus. Remember, 20 up and 20 in the lower part of them, upper jaw, lower jaw. And then have them spin in circles. Feel that circle wheel on your lower jaw, and then the roof of your mouth. That circle. Yeah, don't accept those shitty beliefs as like, oh, you lost they took your wisdom teeth. It's over. That's just bullshit. Stop. Feel the 2 wheels of the teeth. 20 teeth up and 20 teeth down. And this can help you activate the tongue, and then you can have stronger sensations of taste. That's a very easy one to get. I bet you can make yourself salivate just if you make the sensation of these 2 wheels strong enough right now. Okay. Oh shit. It's 23. Okay, I'm gonna have to stop because I don't know how thin these walls are. So, 50-minute meditation session. It was gonna be 30 minutes. We did 50, and if you, I don't expect anybody to listen through all of this.